Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your exciting co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Oh, Ken, man, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. I just have to say this one thing, Mike. So on Sunday, it was like,
Uh-huh.
let's just say 78, 80 degrees, had the AC on. Today, it's 48 degrees and,
Right,
and
right.
turning on the fireplace.
Well, hey, Ken,
Welcome to fall in Milwaukee.
exactly. Welcome to fall. But see, y'all probably gonna stay on that trajectory. Y'all probably not gonna come up or here. I think we're in the high 60s. So that's
Okay.
cool for us. But man, ain't no telling, Ken. Next week it might be 90 down here.
Or snowing.
Exactly. Man, I want to get into this discussion, man, but because I've been looking forward, Ken, to having this conversation with you. And let me just set it up like this. Man, I do love me some Drew Holiday, just like you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We know we love that brother, man, and his wife is outstanding and all of that. And man, I hear about the great, charity work that they do in the city of Milwaukee, man. Much love for them.
Correct.
However, man, I saw this post, and I think you probably saw it too from his wife,
Right.
kind of, I think, man, like airing a few grievances, bro. So what was your initial thoughts when you read that?
Mike, I mean, don't get me wrong. Drew has been, let's just say, a cornerstone in the community as far as, donations and supporting, I'm going to call them black businesses and, my women owned businesses. Man, some, you find someone like that in the
Yeah,
community that does that type of work, man, you don't want them to leave. But
yeah.
as far as her, I'm gonna call her farewell letter to,
Okay,
or just put her feelings out there. I just thought it was a little bit, over the top, um,
okay.
going off of emotions. I mean,
Mm,
a player in the NBA or their family, you subject to be traded any day, anytime, anywhere. I know
yeah.
there's a few places where people, players say they don't want to go. One is Utah. The second is right. The second one is Toronto.
Okay.
And if there's a team that's not doing well, let's just say if they, um, for example, let's just say you get traded to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do anything. They're not going to compete.
Yeah,
But those are that's a situation you don't want. But the thing about it, Drew got traded to Portland, to Boston.
yeah.
Great situation. They're gonna compete for a title. You know, um, and the thing about it, it's nothing personal. This is just business.
Yeah.
And
At the
it
end of the day.
right. I mean, this man is making millions of dollars. And I understand, for the kids, it's hard to make new friends. It's almost like being in the military.
Now you are speaking straight truth.
Right. And so I just thought it was just a little bit too emotional. I appreciate them, man. Like you stated earlier. But the thing about it is that it could just comes down to it's a business, and like I said, you can be traded any day, anytime, at any hour. But the thing that I want to say is the Bucks contacted before it even got out that he was being
Mm,
traded. They contact him like I, I want to say like maybe let's just say I won't say a day, but within
okay.
that 24-hour time span
Mm-hmm.
before the trade was announced that he was being traded. And I
Okay.
know, and the coach or the general manager said that was probably one of the toughest things he had to do is tell
Mm,
Drew Holiday that he was being traded.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, before I give you mine, folks, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe and hit that notification button for us so that you can always get our content. Help us build our numbers. Share the podcast.
Oh,
Join the
definitely.
discussion. We want to hear from you. What do you
The
think about this
comments.
situation?
Right.
Man, Ken, this is what I'm gonna say. Um, some things like we think, but we know we shouldn't put out there,
Okay.
right? Like, okay, I know you hurt, and I understand that, right? Because Drew loved being here. He expressed that, and the Bucks loved him. But Ken, you mentioned the military. I got experience with that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you somewhere for a few years and then you gone.
Right.
That's just a walk of life, and you got kids, you got this, that, and the other thing, and you have to adjust without millions of dollars. Okay, and the thing about it is, this is what I'm saying. See, you say you got great relationships in Milwaukee. Why they got to stop?
They don't.
You say you love the community of Milwaukee. That love can keep coming. One thing I tip my hat to Russell Westbrook for, he's still doing big things in Oklahoma City, Ken. Okay, he still come back and take care of the folks that he built relationships with, man, and they kids young. Hold on, man. It ain't like they in high school and all that, man. They kids young, man. Kids are resilient. They will adjust. And as sad as we may be, man, I just see, man, like a little entitlement.
Okay. I can't
Okay, I'm
disagree
just
with
gonna be
you.
honest. It's
Right.
like, why would this happen to me? How many people got traded, man? Like Dame said, he was in the man cave when he found out. Okay, like, man, come on. Campaign was let go. I mean, this happens, and I just thought, man, the letter was like, man, I thought it was kind of disrespectful and bitter, to be honest with you, man. And I don't think the Bucks, like you say, it's a business, man, and I think the Bucks did the best thing that they did. He is with the Boston Celtics, and everybody knew he was going to either go there or maybe to the Clippers. He was going to a good team.
He was going to a contender.
Thank you. So I just thought, man, it was in poor taste, man. And I think they're great people, but sometimes when you real emotional like that, Ken, sometimes it's best to, not send that
See.
text.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not send that email, not leave that voicemail.
Right.
Because it can come back and just look bad, man. And I just thought, man, for folks in Milwaukee, I don't know. Did they mention that at all? Was that talk on talk radio or anything?
I didn't hear anything about it.
Okay.
I saw it on Facebook, and I saw it, let's just say when you Googled it, and it's just that, as you said, sometimes don't let the emotions, get the best of you. So I thought, yeah, she let her emotions get the best of her. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, it's hard to pick up and leave. Yeah, it is, but that's what kind of like what you signed up for. No,
Absolutely, man. And it's not a bad deal to keep getting paid while you are traded and going to a contender. In real life, okay, let's just keep it honest, keep it real. In real life, folks can't leave a position and continue to get paid.
no,
Okay. They have to like quit that job or get fired from that job. And when they get fired, that job don't try to get them another job.
oh
You know,
no,
they don't work with you. I understand it's athletics and I understand the lack of longevity in it, man. So I'm not hating on it at all, but I'm just saying, bruh, that's not the worst scenario in the world.
you're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, um, it's just that when being in that, let's just say in that environment, you expect things to go one way, but you always have to have it in the back of your mind that I could get traded, or I could go to another team,
Mhm.
or they could let me go, or I could get injured. Things happen. So you
Yeah,
always got to have that in the back of your mind. So I'm gonna say this again, is that her emotions got the best of her. So
no doubt. No doubt, man. Love, 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 love Drew Holiday, man. Love that dude, man. You and I have been an advocate of his
oh,
game
definitely
on and
right.
off the court, man. So much love to you, Drew. Wish you the best, man. And I was proud of the Bucks players because if you didn't have a chance, folks, listen, if you did not have a chance to go and listen to the press conferences that happened after the first practice, man,
Come
you
on
need to.
media day.
Yes,
Yeah.
on media day, exactly. Ken. You, if you hadn't listened to media day and you are a Bucks fan or an NBA fan, you need to go listen to
Yeah.
because it tells you kind of where the mindset of these cats are at right now. And I can tell you, Milwaukee is in the danger zone, man. They on the hunt.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. They on the hunt, man. And so that's exciting. But man, listen, okay. They had their first practice, second practice by now. But James Harden, he decided that he was going to be a no-show. But then the second practice, I guess he decided to show up, man. So what do you Ken? What, man? Help me understand all of this stuff.
James Harden, to me, he acts like a entertainer who is past their prime, but they want to get the perks of, back when they were in the day.
Yeah.
So, he signed that, let's just say, that player's option, thinking that he was going to, get traded or get let's just say, a long-term deal. I won't say long-term, but a deal. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-5 years or whatever the case may be. He had mentioned also that he would like to go back to Houston and play with the Rockets and be the leading scorer, not win a championship, but be the leading scorer. So Houston said, we want somebody who won a championship, not be the leading scorer. And the coach for the Rockets said, no, we're going to push back. We not push back. We're just going to kind of let that go to the side and work what we have. Now, this was reported by Sports Illustrated. So you say to yourself, where could James go that he could be, let's just say, quote unquote, the man? Yeah, a team that's not going to be a contender. For example, let's say if he went to the Clippers, he's not the man. He's part of. Let's just say he's part of that big three.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the leading scorer.
Yeah, it's the same situation he had really in Brooklyn.
Right, exactly. So, and the Clippers saying to themselves, like, do we really want to deal with this? Is it worth all this? Can he be the one, let's just say, one of the three that leads us to, let's just say, the Western Conference Finals and to get a chip? I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't bring that much weight right about now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, Mike, I just think that in Philly, and this would be hard for him to come off the bench. That's just me saying that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I know, right? And the reason why I say that, because that boy Maxey he a bad boy.
Oh man, yes. Oh yeah.
So I just think James, he's just not he's not the man anymore. It's just that simple. And he thinks he is. I mean, as I keep saying this, I don't know if folks can get tired of me saying this. Father Time catches up with everybody.
With everybody. Yeah, he's like the OJs thinking he still could be a headliner.
Right. Exactly.
Nah, you opening up the show, dog. No. You still not on the top of your game, man. I met James, Ken, and I've told you this, and I like dude, man, when I met him. But I hate to say it. I just, man, there's some toxicity there, man. Like, I don't know how you convince a team when you have jumped from every team you've been on.
Wait a minute, Mike. Wait a minute, Mike. Not jump. Force your way out.
Exactly. Oklahoma City, he jumped, but everything else he forced his way out. And the thing is, like, how can you expect a franchise with the type of money you make to say you're going to come here for any given time. I just, man, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, what argument can this guy make, man? Because everywhere he goes, as you said, Ken, he says, "I want out of here."
Exactly. But now you're playing with last year's
Come on,
MVP.
come on,
Man,
dude.
it's
Who don't
not.
want to play with an MVP, man? Like really?
I mean, I can't say that they have a shot. I mean, you never know what's
No, they
going to
don't, man.
happen.
No.
They
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
shot.
Okay, let's say this. If everybody else get injured,
Right.
they have a
Exactly.
shot.
Well, they do. Right. Yeah.
Right.
But the thing, I mean, they got a good team. I'll put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Mhm.
They got
Mhm.
some talent. Nick Nurse, NBA championship coach.
Yeah.
So overrated, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing about it is that he's on a good team that's going to contend. I'll put it that way. So force your way out of Brooklyn. It's in the history of. I mean, come on, man. You
I
you
don't
c- you're not in shape. I mean,
I
my
just
whole
don't. What more does it what okay, my question to Brother James is what would satisfy you? That's the question because you have played with Ken. He's not only played with MVPs, but he played with Hall of Famers. Future.
yeah.
I'm like Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer. Okay, Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer. Kevin Durant is a Hall of Famer. Joe Embiid is a Hall of Famer. Kyrie is a Hall of
I'm a
Famer.
fan.
I'm like, you have played with Hall of Famers, and you don't. I just, man, James, what do you want, man?
He want that money, Mike. He want. I'm gonna say he wants a 3 to 5 year deal, and then he may retire or do whatever he's gonna do. But that's what he's looking to cash in. He thinking about
W-
himself. That's what he's thinking
Exactly,
about.
exactly, and it's not a good look.
It's
Okay,
not.
it's just the optics are just all messed. Then you come out and call the owner, who was your boy, man. Y'all was cool. Like he's a liar, and you'll never, man. Listen, if you want to turn people off, other owners in the league, other GMs, man, just go after management like that. Like, what is, man? These are life lessons, Ken. It's not. This is beyond basketball, right? You don't like just go in front of the board and trash the executive director.
Especially when you want some money.
Exactly, you gonna be in trouble, man. Like I don't know, man. I'm like you. I like him at Philly. I think if James could really realize, as you said, he's not the same player. He doesn't have the same explosiveness. However, James could be a 20 and 10 guy easily. He could do that. I mean, when you think about it, he
Yeah,
led the league last year in assists. I mean,
yeah,
he can do that, but he's got to have that man. He got to give up that scores mentality. He's got to let Maxi, as you mentioned earlier, Ken. He's got to let Maxi bloom, right, and
right.
take more of that scoring role, man, more of that leadership role. But I don't really think that's James Harden, man.
Nope. Mm-mm. Um, I mean, we keep talking about James. I mean, I would say within the last year, just because of his antics. I'll put it
Mm,
that way. Not what's happening on the basketball court. It's more
yeah,
about his antics. And
yeah.
when, like you said, when general managers and teams, look to, a possible trade, I'm like, nah, I just don't want to deal with that. I just don't. I don't want to fool around with that. So
I think fans would be upset if a team traded for James. I think if unless it's outside the Clippers, but I think if you went anywhere and you start getting rid of a quality player, I think fans would be like, dude, this is a serious mistake. So Ken, what do you think will happen, man, in Philadelphia?
I think he's going to be there. I mean,
Mm,
Philly is going to have they're going to have a hard time trading him or Yeah, because the thing about it is that I don't think really it's not that they don't want him because of his talent or
Hmm.
his basketball skill. They just don't want to be bothered with all the, let's just say, antics, as I said
Hmm.
before, about I want to be the leading scorer, or I'm not getting the ball, or I needed a new contract, stuff like that. They just, because he's past his prime,
Yeah.
he's on that decline. So they're like saying, I'm going to trade for a player, I'm going to get all this grief, we'll put it that way. And then he's past his prime.
Yeah.
No,
Don't make sense.
it don't. But the thing about it, I mean, you've seen other players, let's just say, get traded or moved to other teams that were past their prime and came with a little bit baggage, but it just seemed like James' baggage is just like balloon out of control for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah. Nah, like I said, the optics are really, really bad. I think Ken, we're looking at a Ben Simmons 2.0.
Mm.
I think it's gonna be Ben Simmons 2.0, man. I just don't see. They say this man still wants to be traded. He showed up because he got to get paid, and that new CBA rules,
Right.
they're not kindly to you sitting out. So Ken, he there by force. And so I think as the season goes on and his lack of engagement and his lack of commitment, I think Joel Embiid is gonna he ain't gonna want that, man. He gonna want that dude to go out there and play hard, bro, like he playing. He not gonna want that, man. So I think it's gonna be one of those. I think it's gonna get ugly before it gets better.
But you mentioned Embiid. He's been probably, I'm gonna say, like a politician saying the right things,
Hmm.
saying he's not a distraction. We want him on the team. He's practicing hard. But the thing about it, I know it Embiid in the back of his mind, like, man, get me somebody that's want to
Oh,
be here.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I
But
think
you,
Embiid learning from his mistake with Ben Simmons. You see what
right?
I'm saying? Like, like,
Yeah.
like he threw Ben under the bus, and it was over with. It was no
No,
redeeming that. So he's like,
like
well, man,
he didn't throw him under the bus. He backed the bus up again.
right, right,
So
right. So I think he's like, man, well, maybe we can, let me give it a little bit. But he doesn't seem like the most patient brother. So I
no.
don't think it's a couple of games, man, where he don't see that input that he think he needs to get out of James. I don't. MB doesn't seem like the type of dude, man, where he gonna play with you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
agree
gonna be
with that.
honest. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So
right.
I think it's gonna be worse before it gets
Gets
better.
better. Mm.
Now, uh, Ken has challenged us to come up with 5 players throughout NBA history that we feel, was major contributors, but did not get the recognition that they did back then or even now.
Right.
And so, Ken, let's go.
We want to go
Let's
back.
alternate. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
let's
All right.
alternate.
All right. Good.
So, why don't you go first?
So one of my first ones is Antoine Jameson,
Okay, okay,
small forward,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
spent
yeah.
most of his time with Golden State
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Washington.
Yeah.
Um, average about 18 points a game throughout his
Okay.
career,
Okay.
total
Okay.
of about 20,000 points,
Mm-hmm.
and then about 7.5 rebounds per game. 6 Man of the Year, two-time
Okay.
NBA All-Star. So that's my first one.
Okay. Okay. You came with the statistics. I'm gonna come
Right.
with the memory. But no, man, he was a heck of a player, man.
Yeah.
A very solid sort of player. You know what I mean? Matter
Right.
of fact, I got an honorable mention right here. I'm gonna have to put this one down while I'm talking to you. But you might say this guy that I'm gonna give you next time does get some love, but I don't think he's in any of the really top, we would say, 10 power forwards to ever play the game. And I'm gonna mention his name now, James Worthy.
Okay. Oh, that's yeah.
Okay. Okay. People don't realize just how gifted James Worthy, even starting from North Carolina, when he was he was the dude.
He was
there
a man.
when Jordan
It
came.
wasn't right.
You see, and for him to go to LA, man, and run with Magic and to win those championships, and he really was that dude, that power forward that really started on that wing spot,
Right,
running, cutting
exactly.
to the basket, man, and those Laker fast breaks. So James Worthy, man, like you never hear when you hear about Tim Duncan, you hear about all Mari Starbuck, you hear about all these other people. You don't hear about James Worthy, and James was a beast.
Underrated.
Underrated, bro.
As a matter of fact, I think it was a game 6 or a game 7. He scored like 35, 38. Just, I mean, he defended Bird, you know,
mad
in the final
defense.
Yeah, right. And James, like you said, get out on the break, and he probably as a power forward he had one of the quickest steps.
Oh man,
to the basket.
Bruh.
It was just unbelievable.
Bruh. His game reminded me a whole lot of Marcus Johnson.
Oh man, see, you give my players away.
All right, go ahead, kid.
So that was your honorable mention?
No, that ain't my honorable mention.
Oh, okay, all right. So my next one is another power forward, Tom Chambers.
Okay. Yeah.
Played for old Seattle team, Phoenix, four-time NBA All-Star, averaged about 18. Now, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, there's a lot of people who shouldn't be either. I mean, I think it's just a mistake by the NBA. But yeah, Tom Chambers, man.
Okay. No, Tom Chambers he was solid, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like one of them dudes where, you knew he was a workhorse.
Right.
Okay.
He can get out on the break too.
Yeah, he could.
And can dunk. I mean, man.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. He had the 1 foot takeoff dunk on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to throw this one out to you.
All right.
Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale. Did you hear Shaq talk about Kevin McHale?
No,
Shaq said that. Shaq said that's the toughest dude he ever faced.
Really?
Was Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale is like, when you look at his numbers, man, and his consistency, man, he was a solid. He was a rim protector.
Yeah.
He had a good low post game.
Oh man.
He was a good passer. I mean, Kevin McHale was a beast, man. And when you hear people talk about playing against Boston and playing against him, they said, "Yeah, you lost some sleep the night before."
Yeah, I mean, a solid career.
Very solid career.
He coached that? I think he coached for the Timberwolves for a minute, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Man, he know the game. I mean, Kevin he's came out and said some things that people didn't like. You know, he was just being real about today's basketball and what should change. But no, man, that dude was he was a solid player that I think should be in conversations. You know, especially when you're talking about, man, champions.
Definitely.
Power forwards, with him and Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
Oh man. The chief.
Yeah. But I was watching the series on Bill Walton.
Okay.
They said Bill said him and Kevin used to, after practice, play 1-on-1. They had people on the sides just like betting like 100, like who's gonna win. So
yeah. Kevin was, but yeah, he was a good dude, man.
Right, and can shoot it too.
Yes, he could.
Yeah. So my next one, I don't know if you're gonna remember this one though. Randy Smith for the Buffalo Braves.
I do not remember Randy Smith.
Oh man, come on, man.
No, okay.
So
now you didn't toss me a name.
Man, played for the Buffalo Braves, which that team is now the LA Clippers.
Okay.
Randy was teammates with Bob McAdoo.
Okay.
So averaged about 16 a game.
Okay.
Man, shooting guard. But if it wasn't for Randy, Bob wouldn't have all the points. Yeah. So, but if you get a chance,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Randy Smith. No, that's the name. That's definitely not familiar.
That's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, oldie but goodie. Definitely. Hey, I'm gonna hit you with this one.
Okay.
Iceman, George Gervin. You'll never hear nobody talking about George Gervin. And for people that don't understand, when he played for San Antonio and the way he terrorized the league, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they called him the Iceman for a reason. I mean, man, that dude was, I still got his poster.
Right.
But yeah, man, you don't hear about cats like that, man. And George is not really a vocal person either. So he doesn't, he'll say a few things, but he's not one of these guys that are engaged a lot in NBA talk. But man, his game speaks for itself.
Oh, definitely. Matter of fact, I saw a little bit something that he did. Him and Dr. J used to go back and forth in the NBA.
Man,
So,
man.
and Doc said that George would, you had to come and play if you going to face Gervin.
Yes.
And he could shoot. I mean, he had.
Hey, that's what a finger roll. Come
Right.
on, right. He mastered the finger
Right.
roll.
And the thing about it, he was probably, I think, 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah, he was 6'9", I believe.
6'9", okay.
Mm-hmm.
And can shoot. I mean, could shoot it like a shooting guard wherever.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir. Smooth, silky
right.
smooth.
Exactly, and could post up too.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So my next one,
okay.
Seeing that we still on, I don't know why we got power forwards all of a sudden, but Rasheed Wallace.
Oh yeah.
Played,
no doubt.
Played for Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Played with Detroit. Won a chip in 2004. To me, this is just my opinion. At one time, I think Rasheed Wallace was the best power forward in the NBA, and that's when Karl Malone was in there also, and Barkley. But his temper got in his way. But Rasheed was a bad boy, man, and when the three-pointer came into effect, man, he could shoot that three, post you up, get you 10, 15 rebounds, and get on the break with anybody. Man, he was solid, man, and came from, again, North Carolina.
Yeah, yes. Rasheed was a beast down low.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he was strong. I mean, he was agile. He had some ups. He played solid defense. Oh yeah, he was. Yes. Yeah, she was. Yeah. He caused some problems.
Yeah, for himself too. But
yeah. Hey, I'm gonna throw this one out at you that nobody ever talks about and have forgotten. We're gonna go to the foreign market.
Okay.
Toni Kukoc.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, listen. A lot of people don't understand. I mean, you look at those years with Jordan, he played a really good role, fit really well with them. But that year Mike took off, man, that left-handed assassin, bruh. Right. He had a heck of a year, man, and he hit some. And the thing I like about Toni was Toni didn't run from the big shot.
No, he didn't. No, he embraced it.
Oh yeah, Toni said, "Give me that rock, man." And he was a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
good passer. I mean, he had good handle for being 6'11".
Yeah, sharpshooter.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Toni, you don't even, man. You probably mention that name to some young people, they wouldn't even know who he is.
They'd be like, "What?"
Man, but that left-hand assassin, man, he was. I hate the way Jordan did him during the Olympics.
I didn't. Let me stop. I'm just keeping it real, but yeah, I know. Just
Toni said he didn't know what was up with them guys, right. Man. He said they would let him do nothing.
Nothing, right? I think he had like 7 points.
Because Mike said he had heard about this Toni Kukoc guy that was coming, and Jerry Krause was so high on him.
Right.
He said, "No, let me give him a little taste of what we are."
Right.
But no, man, great basketball player, man. One of the early ones to come and have success. You hear about Dirk Nowitzki, you hear about cats like that. But Toni, you hear about, Tony Parker and, folks like that and Ginobili. But, Tony Kukoc should be in those conversations, man,
Oh,
when you're talking
definitely.
about foreign players that have come in and become champions and contributed and left the game better than when they came in it. Man, I got much respect for Tony.
And the thing about it, he got the entire team involved as far as, who he was playing with and things like that. Unselfish, I'll put it that way. So, yeah. So,
No doubt. No doubt.
So my final, well, let's just say my fifth one is Marcus Johnson. Man, Marcus was a beast. Career-wise, 20 points per game. 5-time NBA All-Star. NBA comeback player when he got traded to the Clippers. Marcus, went up against Bird.
Dr. J.
Dr. J. Marcus was a bad boy, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I remember when he got picked, he was a 3rd overall pick in that draft. And guess who was the first one?
Who?
I don't know if Kent Benson.
Oh, Kent Benson.
I'm like, come on, man. Y'all tripping. So, but man, I love Marcus, man.
Yeah.
He had one of these games, man, where he was almost like a point guard. Get out on the break.
Yeah.
Run the team, post up, hit the jumper. I'm just and play defense. A two-way player. So man.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story about Marcus Johnson.
Oh, okay.
When we played when we went down to state my junior year, and we got a chance to watch the Atlanta Hawks play. Okay. I mean, we see them practice, and the Bucks were playing the Hawks that night. So we down at the Mecca, man, and you remember Reggie Theus?
Oh yeah.
So I went up to Reggie Theus. Yeah. I went up to Reggie. He had the waves and all that. Looking smooth. I went up to Reggie, man, and we were just, a few of the guys, and he was talking. And then I said to him, "How you gonna do against Marcus tonight?" He looked at me, Ken. He said, "Marcus who?" I said, "Boy, you crazy." I said, "Marcus gonna eat you up tonight." He said, "Marcus who?" Hey, and you probably heard the story about Marcus when he took his son to Jordan's camp, and Jordan said to him, "Can you still play, old man?"
Right.
And Marcus said to him, "Well, when I was in college, I didn't have your poster on my wall. You had my poster on your wall when you were at North Carolina," because he's one of Jordan's favorite players, man.
He is.
I mean, man, come on, man. I just always felt like Marcus Johnson did not get the credit that he deserves. The way he transformed that position, like you said, Ken, he had much handles. He could play with his back to the basket. He could pull up on you. He was a great defensive player. That dude, man. Well, I can tell you what, in Bucks history, we know who he is.
Oh, right. But let me tell you this one story real quick, Mike. So I was at this picnic. So it was the Bucks general manager at the time and the Bucks coach, and they was trying to promote season tickets and things like that. So then, they had like a question and answer session, and I asked a question. I said, "When y'all gonna retire Marcus Johnson's number in Milwaukee?" Wow. Well, that's in discussion, and we've been talking to Marcus. Talk is over. Let's get this done. So I think it was like maybe 2 years after that they retired his number. So it was long overdue, man.
Exactly. Long overdue. The work had already been put in. The respect had already been garnered. You know what I mean? That's crazy. No, Ken, I'm glad you put him on point like that, man, because Marcus, again, man, that dude was, man, he still is, man. Marcus is just a great person.
Right. Now, I think he's I know on Fox. I know every game doesn't come on Fox, but he's a commentator for Milwaukee. Him and another young lady. So they do a good job.
Okay. Cool. My last one.
Okay.
Again, we sticking with the big man because you know what? Really, big man don't get love like guards and twos, and you know what I mean? So maybe that's why we gravitate toward that. But man, I have to put this dude in there because nobody ever talks about my man that went up and got the 10 Commandments, Moses Malone. Come on now, Ken. You know the poster where he up there and he
Oh,
got the basketballs and all that
right.
with the tablets.
Came straight out of high school.
Man, come on. People don't understand just how good that was hard knocks basketball.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That was Moses was taking you down and punishing you. Okay, that was the pre-Shaq days. You wouldn't
Yeah,
have a
that's a
Shaq
great
without a
point.
exactly, man. Moses was like imposing his will on the inside. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think, man, you never hear about Moses Malone, man, and he
Yeah.
was a phenomenal player, man.
But the thing about Moses, when even when he was Houston, he was getting his numbers, and when he got traded to Philly, it was
Yeah.
over. It
Oh
was
man.
it was done.
Yeah, he was ridiculous in Philly.
Man,
When he
I'm
came
like,
to the Bulls, that was on the latter part of his career, man. But when he was in Philly,
oh, he came to Milwaukee for a cup of
yeah,
coffee.
that's dead. Yeah, he did.
So,
Yeah, that's the old man route.
right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Yeah. When you when you don't want to let it go.
Right, I would tell you a story, but we'll keep it moving, man.
There
So,
you go. There you go, man. So did you have in closing, did you have a chance to watch that in Abu Dhabi, man, the Mavericks and the Timberwolves played?
I watched a little bit of it. I think players are still trying to get their feet under them. So it's early. I'll say this is that you know it's gonna be a long season. I think players are trying to be a little bit more, let's just say, stay healthy in
Mm-hmm.
this coming up season. Uh, Timberwolves, they look good as far as what I saw. The little bit
Mm-hmm.
that I saw of them, or the players that didn't
I
play a
mean,
whole lot.
yeah. Anthony Edwards didn't play,
Right,
because he twisted his ankle the
right.
day
They're not.
before.
That's why. Right. So then they're gonna be cautious and everything, but it was good to to get that, let's just say, exposure somewhere else. But no,
Ken, you so kind.
I know.
Because I'm gonna tell you, bro. I don't. You know what? I know they just coming out and filling each other out, Ken. But come on, man, you can't be down by 30.
I know.
Okay, come on, man. Like, but where's your? When I was looking at Dallas, man, I'm saying, where is your pride? Okay, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we out here just feeling one, man, but we ain't gonna be down by 30.
It was like more of an all-star game than anything,
Yeah,
but
exactly, man. I'm like, why don't you guys? But the Timberwolves was trying to play some D. They when the first, if you watch the first quarter
first,
and a
yeah.
half of it, you saw that the Timberwolves came out to play, and maybe Dallas was out there like it was an all-star game.
But I think the Timberwolves have more to prove than Dallas does. And when I say that is that the Dallas know what they have, and Timberwolves, they're, let's just say, an up and coming team. Even though Dallas didn't make the playoffs, for what you got two superstars, I put it that way. But I mean, but to make my point is that Minnesota has to be on the upward swing right away. Training camp start. This is where we got to go to not to get into the play-in, but to get into the playoffs. They'll get a little inconsistent, but I mean that was probably too much commentary as it is. But yeah, that's how I looked at it.
Man, I'm gonna be like this, Ken. The way we start off is the way we finish. And
Oh,
if we don't,
okay.
we don't start off trying to eat, then you know what? At the end of the year, we're gonna be hungry. No, like day one, you got to me, like and the other thing about Dallas offense too, it just seems so stagnant. It just seems
Yeah,
so 101, like you got two of the best breakdown 101 players in the game. So we just gonna get in the corner and let them just go to work. That's
but
not gonna happen.
but Dallas has always been that way for the last, I'm gonna say, the last 4 or 5 years.
Will they make the playoffs?
Yes.
Now they didn't make it
Yeah,
last year.
I know. I think they should. They will. I,
I
I
think they're
wouldn't
gonna
put
make the
my. I
play
won't.
in. I think they're gonna
Okay.
make the play in and get bounced. That's what I think gonna happen. They're gonna make the play in, they're gonna get bounced, and then they're gonna be in disarray.
Mm.
Because I don't see that working, man. I don't see it working at all. Yeah. No defense, no nothing.
Yeah,
But folks, we matter of fact, we got some games this weekend. And the Bucks will play, the Warriors will play. I think the Warriors play tonight as well. So
okay.
yeah, it's let's get this thing cracking, as we
Going,
used to
huh?
say back in the day. But Ken, always, man, a great show, brother.
Exactly.
Hey, as we say, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.